What did I step on?
Okay, now we're live. Why does it still have your picture of your face? Your face is still in the... What is going on here?
What?
This is weird. It still has you. Your face.
Still has my face.
Dude, what the fuck is going on?
I might just start.
What the fuck is happening?
What's up, everybody? Welcome.
No, it's like not working.
I'm working.
What is going on here?
I'm live.
Hold on. What is
Hold up.
And?
Enderman?
Dude, what the fuck is happening here?
I don't know.
I think I have to restart my phone, honestly.
Yeah?
That's
Okay.
really weird.
Well, hey, we're, as usual, doing our technical services. And that's kind of what's going on right now. I am pretty
In general?
pretty excited about Monday being over. Tired. I went to a James Taylor concert last night and I'm still tired from it because it was so boring.
Oh my god. James Taylor. Why did you go to a James Taylor
It's
concert?
Mother's Day. It was a Mother's thing. The moms liked it. It was great.
Which
no,
moms?
it wasn't that boring. It was awesome.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah. So we're just setting things up.
My phone is rebooting. I don't know what the deal was. All of a sudden it just like froze on a picture of you.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
What up? What's up?
Okay, get in there. Okay, we're going now. Now we're going.
What up? What's up?
Now we're live. Okay. Fucking.
Okay, I'm going. You know
Finally.
what, ladies and gentlemen, action sports enthusiasts,
We're not perfect.
people who listen to podcasts about nothing, welcome to another episode of the Monday M.A.S.S. We are known globally as the world's greatest action sports podcast. It is May 5th. I'm Chris Coté.
And I'm Todd Richards. We have the
That's
worst production value.
No, it's the best. You don't need much to make good content.
This ain't
these
no
days.
this ain't no Huberman. I'll tell you that much right now.
Thankfully, we're just us. This show is presented by some very amazing sponsors. Without them, we'd still probably do the show, but we would do it reluctantly. Without these sponsors, right? Sunbum. This was a weekend for Sunbum. Ears, eyes, not eyes. Ears, nose, face, lips, body. It's to me this is when you need sunblock the most. Going into summer when your body is still in winter mode. You know, maybe you got a little base in the last couple weeks during spring break, but now we're heading into summer. The sun is out, at least here in San Diego, and this is when you get your ass burnt. So, apply liberally. Apply Sunbum liberally all over your body.
You're spending a lot of time on Sunbum.
They're great.
We only
At
have-
Sunbum.
We only have so much time.
One wheel. We got a one wheel. We got a giveaway going out. We're getting one wheels in the office. We're gonna ride them around this summer.
If there's not a lot of room to ride one wheels in here, but I'll tell you, the
No,
snow's
outside.
outside.
Yeah.
The snow is melting. If you don't live near an ocean where you can go surfing, but you crave
The CARV.
the carving
Crave the
sensation,
carve.
if you crave the carve, if you want to have smooth grooving all over the place,
Oh yeah.
get yourself a one wheel.
I'm
Best
gonna go-
form of transportation. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a little taste.
Go
Put
ahead.
it on your gums.
You need a little more.
Mm.
Remember when I did a whole?
Just put it on your
Remember when I
gums.
did a whole spoonful? It's
New
good.
Greens. So how do you want to stay healthy? How do you want to stay physically fit internally? New Greens will help you with that. Look at this guy's skin and body.
Look at me.
Look at him.
Look at me.
Well, don't look only at him. Look at all the people that trust New Greens to make themselves healthy inside and out. Todd used to call it eat your salad or drink your salad.
Salad in a cup.
Yeah, salad in a cup. It's good for you. Trust us. There's lots of good ingredients.
Mammoth Mountain,
Mammoth
it's
Mountain.
still going.
Come
Mammoth
on.
Mountain is now extended their snow season into June. You thought it couldn't happen? Well, guess what? It is. Get up there. There's still a lot of jumps and rails and all kinds of other fun things to be happening. Some of the lifts may be closed, but the party atmosphere is not. It's Mammoth.
Bro, après summer skiing.
Boom.
Come on. Spy Optic at Spy Optic. Sunglass season. It's RX glass season. I had a bartender actually go, "What are those glasses?" And I go, "These are Spies." He goes, well, I didn't know they made prescription glasses. And I go, they do, and they're great. Spy Optic, at Spy Optic. Follow them. Hanson Surfboards.
Hanson Surf in downtown Encinitas. Do you need trunks? Do you need sunbum sunscreen?
Yes.
Do you need to get yourself a new surfboard for the summertime? Do you
How about a
need
pair of
some
Spy
fins?
Optics?
Are you so sick of tariffs but don't want to pay tariff prices?
What?
Get yourself to Hanson Surfboards. They also do
Online
online ordering, so you can live vicariously through the mail.
That's right. Also, we have Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce at Try Bachan's.
It's Bachan season.
Todd, I did a review, or I'm doing an article on a small local company that's doing big things. It's called I Love Masubi, or This Love Masubi. It's one of the only licensed home kitchens in San Diego, and the homie over there is producing This Masubi Love. At This Masubi Love on the gram.
Do they put Bachan's on it?
Musubi. One of the best flavors he had was the Bachan's chicken.
Did you tell him?
And I told him, I know these guys, and I talked to our guys at Bachan's. I am connecting these two brilliant minds. So it's not just, Bachan's is available at Costco. It's available everywhere. But it's also available in cool, boutique, awesome little spots like This Love Masubi.
I tried Bachan.
This Masubi Love. Machu Picchu Energy, at Machu Picchu Energy.
Are you can I have it?
Wait, you had it last week.
Okay, then you have it.
What? You want to share it?
I mean, what's your lip situation these days?
I don't want to lip share it.
Do you have any herb lips?
No. I've been using...
I'll crack it. This is the Alpine Mint flavor. This is my favorite flavor.
It is. Now, I know you don't drink that much. Do you ever make a cocktail with this?
Oh, you mean like booze?
Yeah.
You could.
With that, I think you could make some kind of like a mojito kind of thing.
Power mojito.
I don't know. We'll see. But either way, it's good, clean energy. Panic and Coffee and Tea, at Panic and Coffee and Tea. Look, we've got a Panic and Blend bag right there, and you should have one in your house too, because I know not all of you can get to Panic every
is this
day.
A prop, or can I have?
There's actual coffee in there.
There's actual coffee.
Do you need directions, Panic? At Panic and Coffee and Tea, get it online. Bring Encinitas home with you wherever you are. Mint Tours, at Mint Tours.
Shit, I keep forgetting to call Jared. Damn it.
Well, he's watching.
He's watching.
Our Mint Tour is open in Japan, as are announcements for all the other winter Mint Tours. And I know we're just starting summer, but these will sell out quick. So go to at Mint Tours. If you feel the urge to snowboard now, they also have summer tours going south. Where do people go in the
Southern
summer?
Hemisphere.
Or Mammoth.
New Zealand.
We should do
They
a
go to
Mammoth
Chile.
summer tour.
They go to Argentina.
Okay, with Mint Tours.
With Mint Tours.
They make it too easy. It's the best.
DiecutStickers.com, at DiecutStickers, DOTCOM on Instagram. Jerry wants a skateboard.
Oh, didn't I send him one?
He said he wants one.
Okay. I will send him one, and I will ship it for free using Vessel Shipping at Vessel App. I shipped out 3 skateboards. I put it on our Instagram. People were like, cool, that pack job is horrible. It was. I got a quick show and tell for you. I know we've talked about this a lot, but these are, in fact, in real life, the new Kern Capel shoe.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice, right?
Yes.
I don't usually go black on black, like 4 on the floor, all the way black, but kind of feeling these. Yeah, I skated them straight out of the box. You saw the review probably on Monday M.A.S.S Instagram, my Instagram. They're great, straight out the box.
Day oneer, huh?
Day one. Surf News brought to you at Sunbum.
Dude, the best contest I've seen in forever.
So good, right? And especially if you're a fan of like
2000 surfing?
Yeah, competition, 2000 surfing.
What?
Beeping, if you love beeping, we've got that too. Okay, it's the best final of the year, if not the last few years. Julian Wilson versus Felipe Toledo. Everybody's talking about it still.
This office sucks. It's really bad.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
Well, I have the window open.
I know you do, but it's still
the beeping stuff.
We're like in a commercial.
We're in a production
commercial
suite.
office space.
So there's a couple of things here. This head-to-head matchup happened already years ago. The comeback of Julian Wilson. He announced he was going to be on the Challenger Series. So that hasn't happened yet. But what did happen is he got a wild card, or won the wild card through the trials at the Burleigh Heads, the Bonsoy Milk Burleigh Heads Pro.
And mashed it.
Should we take a little Bonsoy brew break?
Are you bummed that you didn't get to say that a lot?
I haven't got to
How
see
many
it.
times do you think they have to say? What is the worst thing that you've ever had to say for WSL? You have to, come on, you can just say
I'm trying to think.
like over and over and over and over again.
Oh, I think the U.S. Open had a sponsor a few years ago. It was some kind of like bank, like a what do you call it? Like Bitcoin kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really, it was like a weird sponsor.
Didn't
You
flow
say
off
the U.S., the so-and-so U.S., the Sun Gold Crypto Bank U.S. Open, and it was just like over and over.
I remember
And I remember having to always have to like right before you say it, I had to turn around and look at like the banner behind me to remember the name.
I remember one U.S. Open of surf when F45 was the sponsor of the gym.
Yeah.
And they would always, I was like the roving sand reporter.
Yep, they're like, oh, Todd, go over to the F45.
Yeah, go over to the F45 gym, and I'm just like this scrawny, like just sickly looking human, and all these dudes are like, "Are you ready to get fucking jacked?" And I'm just like,
no.
Hey, I'm just
not.
over here at the F45, and none of these people have neck veins that aren't 6 inches protruding from their neck.
Well, I think there's nowadays there's a bit of a more kind of party atmosphere, a little more looseness on WSL broadcast, which I like. You know, like they have Corona Zero as a sponsor, and they were saying like, yeah, man, drink them. Cheers on air, drink them.
Well,
you know, zero alcohol things.
Let's get back to the.
Okay, yeah.
Let's get back to it. So,
wow, we get sidetracked.
No, it's cool. Julian Wilson did one of the best straight airs I'd seen. I mean, like you could see, you know, like flow state, right?
Yeah.
You hear people talk about flow state and how to get into flow state.
Yes.
And flow state happens, I believe, when you are, you know, the like your special meter starts to fill up, and you could watch Julian Wilson's special meter. Like he was just like he could do no wrong.
Right.
And like, man, he was just in that huge air.
Was amazing.
Big old slob air on a section that didn't really look like it was going to let anyone land.
He just had special needs. He had a special need
Not
for a big score.
He wasn't special needs.
He had a special need for a big score in the final versus Felipe Toledo. So, here comes the controversy. I don't necessarily think it was super controversial. It was an amazing heat from start to finish. Both these surfers got huge scores. A lot of people online are talking about the 9 point something that Felipe got, thinking that he was a touch overscored.
Well,
he was touched by an angel.
You know what?
And got a little juiced, but
what I didn't see, what I really didn't see.
What didn't you not see?
Was not a lot of death threats in the in the captions,
right?
Or in the discourse afterwards.
Yeah,
it's weird, right? Like when someone loses and there's not a lot of "don't come to our country."
Yeah. Well, there was so much fun to be had while watching this final. So you had one part of the final that was crazy was the crowd was huge, and there's not grandstands. It's just people sitting on these rocks and on the bluff, and it's just sick looking. Natural amphitheater, as they say. There was a group, I'm assuming a group of Brazilian surf fans. I don't know how big the group was or small. Throughout the final, they were chanting Felipe champion or something like that. And so the reason why Julian Wilson, it looked like Julian Wilson was flipping off the judges. He was not. He was actually flipping off a portion of the crowd that was chanting and just trying to like, I think it did rattle him a little bit because after that, he flipped off the crowd of people chanting against him, and then he started laying into Felipe. And Felipe's like, "What, dude? Like, what are you? I didn't tell him to cheer. I don't know. I would love to have water mics out there to hear what was happening in that moment. But either way, you could tell after this thing wrapped up, everybody was just so fired up. The ceremony, the award ceremony at the end, you know, you could see cooler heads prevailing. Julian obviously having an emotional moment, this huge comeback, near victory. Can you imagine if Julian would have won that?
Well, the last time that Julian competed, he didn't have kids.
No.
Like, he has a whole family, a company now. Like, it's just like he's a completely different person with, like, literally nothing to lose.
It's almost like he tapped into dad power. You know when you're like a dad and you have little kids and something happens to them at the park or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it's called you need to make enough money to keep them alive.
You know, you like snap into like shark eyes. You go into that mode and you get angry.
That only works for like a certain percentage of people because I've seen people snap into dad mode in front of their kids at the skate park and end up going home in an ambulance.
Oh, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
Hey,
it
watch
worked for
this!
Julian. And
I haven't skated in 4 years.
Oh, you mean
I'm gonna
like
kick
that.
flip this fucking six stair.
You mean like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what this was on Stab. Stab did actually a really cool wrap-up piece where they interviewed a bunch of top pros, Taj Burrow, Mick Fanning, Julian Wilson. They interviewed a bunch of people like asking about, you know, did Felipe really win this? Da da da. All the pros kind of agreed. Look, when you're there and you're seeing the speed and what's actually happening in the water, it's a little different on television. So most people agree Felipe did win this event. And for Julian Wilson, he had a quote that said, my gesture was directed towards the vicinity where the chants were coming from. He felt disrespected. It's his home event, and he did not want to be copying that. So he was just letting off some steam. He apologized to Felipe. Didn't have anything to do with Felipe. He was just venting. He said that actually the passion and fire in him just got flared up
Well, I kind of think
from people yelling at him.
I do kind of think that's like fun.
Yeah, that
is fun.
absolutely makes it
It's
fun.
like a sporting event. It's like, you know, the people that sit behind the opposite team's hoop.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I remember seeing one where they were just like, there was just like everyone had like middle fingers. It was someone just dunking. I think it was from the Chicago Bulls. It was a classic picture. And it's like 70 people flipping the bird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I
love that.
That is always present at sporting events. Padres game, Petco Park. One of my favorite things is the classic baseball taunter where this person, man or woman, is not saying anything necessarily too gnarly, but when they always end it with, you're a bum, that's just a classic baseball-ism. You're a bum! Like, pull your pants up, you're a bum! Nice throw, you bum! I love that. A nice, just gentle ribbing in sports is good, and we got to see it through Julian's eyes.
Be called a bum.
I know, right?
You're a bum.
That's like from the 40s. Ah, you're a bum.
I like it.
Betty Lou Scarlett-Johnson got her first ever championship tour victory over Sally Fitzgibbons, and another near Cinderella story for Sally Fitz. Second place is amazing. Again,
I would say that she's like is like a parallel with Julian. You know what I mean? Like she was just in it forever. Was like craziest name. Everyone was like, you know, trying to beat Sally Fitz forever. And she kind of steps away, and now she's back, and she's just cutting it up.
Would you, if you're looking at like snowboarding, is she like a Jamie Anderson character?
Yeah, I think so.
Who's just been so good for so long. Jamie Anderson is one of
Jamie Anderson's more like Steph.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
But it'd be like a Kelly Clark.
Okay, yeah. Just in the game, always solid. Oh, you always got to cheer for her.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked for Betty Lou Scarlett-Johnson. Totally earned it. That would have been a heavy emotional win for Sally Fitz, but she's got another chance.
Yeah.
She's going to need it because the next event is West Oz. That is where the cut, the circumcision of the championship tour.
It's kind of like a WSL Briss.
Yes, exactly, but no gifts. The only gift you get is a plane ticket home.
That's right.
Or a plane ticket back to the
Who's
Gold Coast.
sponsoring the next one?
West Oz.
Oh, so
Western Australia.
You get a Bonsoy break.
You're gonna be taking some Bonsoy breaks. Okay, so the cut's coming up. Here's
What if you just had to drink milk?
Well,
like that was like the stipulation was like.
I think it's coffee too.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like creamer.
Yeah. Well, Bonsoy brew break. They had a Bonsoy, they had a Bonsoy pop-up coffee shop.
Oh.
And I will say something. Australian coffee is really good.
It'll rip you in half.
I trust that Bonsoy makes a mean cup of coffee.
It'll rip you in half.
I still have never had one.
Flat whites. You like the long blacks.
I like all coffee. I'd like to try a Bonsoy brew coffee thing sometime. The next event is West Oz. The cut. Here are some males that are in trouble of being cut. Let's start over.
Who are they?
Okay. Crosby Colapinto, Liam O'Brien, Jackson Bunch, David Silva, just a few of the dudes below the cut line that are so good they should not be below the cut line. On the women's side, you got Lakey, Vahini, Brisa, and Bella Kenworthy in trouble. There's other surfers below them, but those are kind of the ones that are right hovering on the cut. And this is where I love watching this event too. It's definitely dramatic, and there's sadness to parts of it, but you also see like grit, emotion. So this is one of my favorite events of the year just because you really get to see the joy and the pain that is elite level professional surfing.
I have an idea, organizational idea for the WSL.
What?
And tell me if you think this is crazy or not.
Okay.
Like, because a lot of people really have to battle to get on the championship tour, right?
Yes.
Like it's like
really hard.
Strips
It's
years
one of the
of your life.
hardest
And
things.
I'm looking at this like Bella Kenworthy, like she beat herself up to get there.
Yep.
It seems like she just got on.
She did.
Now, was it in the past? Why do I remember this? Like, would it be crazy? Like, if you make it onto the championship tour, you're on there for 2 years.
Like a 2-year rookie
like,
program?
You get like a 2-year program, 2-year guaranteed slot to do it.
I don't. No other sport does that.
Well, kind of. Like you
Like
get
what?
you get signed to a contract. Like if you make the major leagues, you're signed to a contract. You know, you're in the big leagues, right?
Yeah, but you don't necessarily get to play.
No. But I just feel
I
like,
see your point because
you know,
obviously going from the Challenger
and
Series
it's so
to
quick.
the
It's so
CT is hard.
fast. Like, and if there's a mid-year cut, like it's just like boom. Like your dream. Like you fought so hard for this dream. There's a party. You make the big show,
I got it.
and then you're
I got it. I got it. I got it. I don't got it.
Totally.
Well, we'll see next year because
Just like
as
something.
we all know, things are going back to the way they were, sort of. That could help rookies get their footing better.
Just something I'm throwing out
Edgar
there.
Grosjean is another name that the dude is such a good surfer. He's a really cool guy. Just cannot win a heat. And he just keeps coming close. He's losing by 0.5. You know, it's so I get it. I get it. The learning curve is steep, but you got to get on there and get on there quick. I mean, Aaron Brooks isn't having that much of a problem. He's a rookie.
True. True, but you know,
Marco Mignot isn't having that much
I
of a
also
problem.
feel
He's a
like
rookie.
obviously a lot of these surfers have the talent to get there, right? So they know what to do, how to play the game, but it's probably, you know, you don't even really get to relax into your, like you're I feel like with a lot of the rookies, there's so much talent there, but they're not actually getting a chance to exhale. You know what I mean? So we're not really seeing the best at, like they proved themselves by getting on the championship tour, but now they're so fucking gripped, like that we're not seeing them relax
survive.
into it, right? Like
gotta survive.
that's what I feel like. I'd like to see some of this talent be able to like breathe a little bit.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah, well, it
It's
is a
time to
game.
play the game.
It's kind of like Squid Games, really. Like they Squid Game their way halfway through the season, and then they
Draw the floor ducks out.
right.
Well, Todd, this is real life. This is not the movie Point Break. This is real happenings. There was a stabbing at the hook. And
Really?
this is already making up for, you know, we got The Surfer, which is a psychedelic psychodrama about localism. But then you go up to Santa Cruz at Pleasure Point, not super pleasurable right now because there was a stabbing in the parking lot.
Over
Two
what?
guys approached another guy in a confrontation about surf etiquette. Either you dropped in on me, you backpack, you shot your board at me, whatever happened. There was
You
an
know
altercation
the
in the water.
rules.
You know the water. You know the rule. You know the water rules. 58-year-old guy, Shannon, struck the victim with an object determined to be a Kubatan.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a little pointy thing you put on a keychain. You just like stick people with it. So it wasn't a sword or a knife. It was a Kubatan. So this happens. There's people out there carrying weapons, and if you drop it on the wrong person and they got a Kubatan in their pocket,
Is that a Kubatan in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
I would never have dropped in on you if I knew you had a Kubatan in your pocket. So don't drop in, but also don't stab people. To me, that's pretty clear. I don't think we should even have to say that in 2025,
Don't stab
but apparently it still happens. Don't stab people over a wave.
No stabsies.
Because the thing is, you can get mad over a wave, but there's also there's gonna be another wave. So if you're upset about a wave, just remember there will be another wave. Todd, there's a trade show coming to San Diego, June 20th, the CARV trade show.
Oh, what is it about?
California Action Retailer and Venture Expo. So
California Adventure
Retailer and Venture Expo.
So where's the V? That's the V
CARV.
in adventure?
Venture.
Venture.
Venture is like a business. You're starting a business, a business venture.
Okay.
So this is happening at the San Diego Convention Center where
like
ASR
the
used
old
to
days.
happen.
Okay. What are we talking about here?
Well, we're going to get industry leading brands in attendance.
There's up to
Firewire,
7 brands will be in
Reef.
attendance.
No, there's a lot.
Really?
Get behind it, bro.
I am.
You always ask for this, and then when I talk about it, you make fun of it.
Um,
You asked for it. They're giving it to you. Now you're making fun of it.
Well, we're going to talk. Don't think that we're not going to drift into tariff talk.
I don't want to talk tariffs.
We have to talk
I don't
tariffs.
want to talk tariffs.
It's in the news again this morning, but continue. This is great.
Okay, this is going to be really cool. There's going to be good memories, nostalgia. Everybody who remembers the San Diego Trade Show, you're going to get that feeling hopefully walking in there.
Mhm.
It's going to be cool. June 20th. So just
That's coming up.
you can just Google CARV Expo on the internet.
Are you going?
I think I'm going to be in Brazil.
You can try to sneak someone to get a pass.
If I was
The old
there, I would
days?
try to sneak in.
God, that was almost the best part of ASR is like not having a pass.
Yeah,
And trying to like play the game to get in.
yeah. Super fun as a youngster.
So should we talk about tariffs now?
We should talk about Tahiti. Did you see Imo Zermac's wave?
No.
He's maybe got one of the craziest paddling waves ever. And Surfline was rating it epic.
That's in Tahiti.
Yeah.
There's a long line of that was the craziest wave ever is from Tahiti.
Definitely
and if this
one of
one's
them.
in. Wow.
Yeah, it was like almost as big as Nathan's wave. It looked like the one Andy got with the cover of that.
Straps or no straps?
No straps, paddling.
Paddle.
Wave drop.
Okay.
Gnarly.
Wow.
Imo Zermac. Check out his Instagram.
That's sick.
Gabriel Medina was ripping the Sao Paulo wave pool. He's on the comeback.
Shocker.
And an unofficial announcement says he may be able to return and compete in Tahiti.
What was wrong with him again? What did he blow out?
Tariffs. He got a tariff on his shoulder.
His shoulder was tariff?
No, he had like a shoulder. He landed weird. He did like an alley-oop. It wasn't crazy, but it was like an awkward landing.
Pulled something.
And he did something like that and ripped his pec.
Peck ripper.
Brett Barley has a new movie out. It's called Ambivalent. And it's like part surf movie, part documentary. There is a fair bit of evangelical Christian stuff weaved in. If that's not your thing, it's easily fast forwardable because if that's not your thing, his surfing definitely will be your thing. He's so gnarly. It's a great movie. He's open. He's honest. It's pretty raw, and the surfing is insane.
Cool.
And he made it himself. You really want to talk tariffs? Don't
Well, I feel like we have to.
you really want to talk tariffs?
Because this week, this will cover. I'll cover the tariffs for the snowboard stuff too right now. We'll just get this tariff. We'll tear the
Okay,
band-aid
you're on
off.
the clock for tariff talk.
Okay, listen. So apparently yesterday, we are now back to a 30% tariff for the next 90 days.
Okay, that's good.
It is good, but here's the question that I have: with companies like FCS, who had said they are not going to ship any fins to the U.S. There's a lot of shucking and jiving that went down over the past month to avoid the tariffs. So it may be too little, too late, because people have already
Canceled orders,
or have already passed on the price increases to the shops, saying that like because of tariffs, our prices are going to be high. So the question that I have,
Tariff talks get me hot.
I know. The question that I have is like, now that we have this new deal or pieces of a new deal with China back to where it was, because 30% is where we've been for at least
I'm fine with 30%.
a year, right? Like it's
I
not
don't
great,
know anything
but it's
about it.
manageable. But the prices have already been jacked up to from the companies to the stores. So are these prices going to fall
Jack off?
Yeah, they're going to jack
So
down.
they're jacked up, but they need to be jacked off in terms of the prices.
So, I mean, that's a big question that I have for the industry with across the board, skate, surf, snow.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Mike McGill. You might know him from Nick Twist.
Just dropping names like that.
This morning we were kind of talking about it at breakfast.
At Panicking.
Yes,
Oh,
about
shoot.
how this will now affect, because a lot of the companies are in fact keeping with their pre-news about the tariffs being lowered.
Okay.
So it's a weird place for the industry to be in right now. Like, the right thing to do would be to go back to prices before, but I think people see dollar signs and it's just not good. Like, you can't it just kind of sounds like a lot of insider trading to me. I don't like it. I want someone to chime in the comments. Does anyone know anything about this that is far smarter than I am? Will you please drop something into the comments about what your opinions
And
are?
while
on
you're there,
this?
like and subscribe.
You can like and subscribe on your own time.
You can like and subscribe.
This is for real. Like,
I know.
I feel like this really, because the trickle down goes to marketing budgets. The first thing that gets hacked
it's team.
when there's cuts is team and spends on things like the championship tour or movies or whatever. All the promo budget goes away first.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that gets cut.
Uh-huh.
So I want to know. I want to know out there, people.
Inquiring minds do want to know.
I want to know, like, Hanson Surfboards. What are you doing? What are you doing about that? Do you kind of take it on the chin and keep your prices where they were, or do you have to now play in this new stadium where all of a sudden prices are higher and they're really volatile? Like, what is it? What is the best thing for the industry to be done right now?
Yeah. I don't know. If I knew that, I'd be a wealthy man.
Skate News is brought to you by Spy Optics. But first,
in loving memory of Clyde Aikau.
Oh, yes.
Clyde Aikau was, obviously one of the
Aikau
biggest
family.
names in Hawaiian surfing, in global surfing. And, beyond all he did for the culture, the fact that he was surfing and competing in memory of Eddie Aikau well into his 70s is incredible. He was a beast. And, he's obviously the member of the Aikau family, and a lot of outpouring for love and support for the Aikau family at the moment. He died of pancreatic cancer and heart disease. So he'll be missed. He was always, when you go down to Waimea for the Eddie, it was just like, you'd see Clyde and you'd just go, this is getting real. So that was sad news to hear, but also hopefully, no more pain. It's a rough way to go, but what a legacy he left. Skate News is brought to you by our friends at Spy Optic. Spy Optic. I've got them on my face. Todd usually has them on his face.
I'm always
Sunglasses.
facing Spy.
Todd has great eyes, so he doesn't need prescription glasses like I do. Get Spies. Happy birthday, Tony Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
It's Tony Hawk's birthday.
57? 56?
Sure.
I think he's 57.
He's something.
He's in there.
In bird years, though. Which I don't know. I don't know how to do the math. So this is kind of cool. Jenkem does it again. So they went ahead and wrote an article. This is a deep dive, well-constructed, entertaining, and informative article about the origins of the game of skate.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
Where'd it come from?
So I don't want to spoil the whole thing because I think you guys should all read it. They put a lot of work into this article. It's words, so you have to read words, but you should. When it comes to that game, so John Lucero, Lance Mountain, and Neil Blender were skating together back in the 80s, 80, 81, and they had a game where they called add-on.
Add a trick.
Add a trick, add-on, and basically I do a
one,
kick
someone
flip.
adds on, then you
do
gotta
a
make a
kick flip
line.
and a
The
shove
line
it.
gets longer and longer.
So that's kind of where they start to pinpoint the origins of it. And of course, leave it up to, or before that, they were playing tag, where somebody would have a glove on and they'd take their glove off and they were skating around and they would throw the glove in front of your board and try to get you to slam. And so if they threw the glove at you, you were it. And so these like pros.
And then you would try to throw the glove at somebody else.
Yeah, so these like skaters would come around and come to this park and they'd see like, Lance Mountain, Neil Blender skating around. They're like, whoa! And then they realized that these guys are playing tag.
We had a game like that too. It was called Poop Stick. You'd take a stick and put it in dog poo and you would chase You're friends with it. You ever play poop
I
stick?
doubt you did that.
I'm
sure you
I
did
grew up
that.
in
Actually, I'm
rural
sure you did that.
Massachusetts.
I know you did that.
That was like a letter sport in our
Poop
high
stick.
school. Poop stick.
So that's a cool article. You should go read that. Street League is transforming Santa Monica Pier into the Santa Monica triple set for a custom built course for the next SLS event. It looks insane.
Cool. I like it when they enhance
Me
stuff
too.
for SLS.
Yeah.
Or actually,
They basically took the Santa Monica triple set and like made it a huge like park, and they're gonna stick it on top of the pier by the roller coaster. Nardwar went in on P-Rod. You like Nardwar?
Nardwar, the guy that knows
The human serviette.
the music guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah. Do.
So-
What did he do?
He did a interview with P-Rod, skateboarder.
Did he know like insane facts about P-Rod that like P-Rod didn't even know?
Yes.
Wow.
So he had skate decks. He did like old magazines.
I didn't realize that Nardwar was like expanding his.
Yeah, that's what I was. I mean, like whatever. P-Rod seems rad, but I was kind of more excited to see Nardwar going into sports, action sports. Anything Nardwar does, I'm in. For the OGs out there and the new G's coming up,
Dude,
the Turf skate park in Wisconsin is officially coming back.
it's almost back. apparently.
Indiana Jones style. So I just read an article. So the Turf, I've never been there, but it's just one of those skate park names that if you grew up skating in the 80s, 90s, you just heard about this park. The Turf.
Milwaukee.
So
Right? Is it Madison or Milwaukee? I think it was Milwaukee.
I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
Sam
Milwaukee.
Hits, those guys, you know, like that's who you skate there. But it was an old park. So basically, the city was building an on ramp, and they needed this space. It was just a flat kind of field. City's building an on ramp. They start excavating, and then as they're digging, a part of the pool comes up.
They found a bit of the turf.
And they go, what? And then they realize that this was the resting place of the defunct Turf skate park. So skaters, along with the government, or like the local government, they said they made a deal, and basically
So what you're
buried
saying
all
is
this
that
stuff.
those guys are now archaeologists.
yes,
I'll be here all week.
solid, Todd. June 7th, I think, is when they're going to cut the ribbon, and you might be able to skate the turf. Another guy named Sam Allison is skateboarding from Brighton in the UK to the Tangiers for the Ben Reimers Foundation. That's like 30 days there and back, or 30 days there, 30 days back. He's gonna have a tent, a sleeping bag, clothes, and even a massage gun. He's gonna be going through some pretty gnar territory, all the way to Tangiers.
I mean,
What do you think of long distance skateboarding?
don't like it. I can barely push down the street.
Yeah.
I prefer to
I like when other people do it,
roll in.
especially when they do it for a good cause like that. I think May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It really kind of makes you wonder what durometer wheel and what shoe. Like if there was ever a thing to test a brand's shoes and wheels,
Yeah.
it's these long distance skaters.
I saw the board. It's kind of like an old school shape, and the wheels just look like big, like fat.
Like old
Fillmore wheels.
gummies, yeah.
I would want something kind of in the middle. You don't want it too gummy because then it's slow.
Right, but you want soft because you
don't want vibration.
You want good shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, interesting.
Okay, but that's it. That's all. I've been skating. That's news. Snowboarding news is presented by Mammoth Mountain.
And boy, do we have a lot of it.
Oh my gosh.
Here
Well,
we go. You ready?
yeah.
Monster Energy.
Oh my gosh, we have the same top story.
We do? Oh, Monster Energy dropped one of the hardest hitting edits of the season last week. Siberian Express. Charles Beckett, the master of the frozen scoop and push.
And did you see the assless chaps?
No, I was paying attention to the snowboarding.
What? They're snowboarding?
It was nuts. Monster Energy's got some of the
That's a gnarly team.
biggest names in snowboarding as far as like chucking themselves. And the big star of the thing was Charles Beckett-Sale's interpretation of the playing field. It was jumps that were kind of like up and over tree branches, utilizing pieces of the terrain at Jackson Hole that were just...
This is all Jackson Hole, right?
It was all Jackson Hole.
That's
and it was
crazy.
like, you know, gigantic hips, jumps over trees.
Side hits taken to the next
Yeah,
level.
side hits, giant like pyramid things. It was amazing. From what I heard from all the homies, Judd Henkes was the man
Okay.
of that whole time. Talk about someone who was just pushing the hardest.
Yeah.
Judd Henkes was the man.
I couldn't believe some of the simple looking but incredibly difficult giant airs.
Everything was huge. Everything was. I was looking at stuff being like, you know, it'd be cool is if Charles made that 30 feet smaller for people that don't like to blow themselves into 100 pieces.
The one there.
Everything was jacket flapper
The one like step. It was like a side hit step up
over the tree
thing.
and yeah, giant like domed landings. Charles knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Also, late season snow has just hit the West Coast. Today was actually a powder day at Mount Bachelor. Can you believe it?
Come on.
And then it's supposed to snow in Tahoe for the next 2 days. Late season storms. You didn't have that on your bingo card, did you?
I did not.
Well,
People are going to be snowboarding in the Northern Hemisphere until July.
which brings me to something that we used to experience in Summit County when I was living in Colorado.
What?
Something called mud season despair.
What's that?
That means you've had about 3.5 weeks of sunny, warm weather, riding slush, and then all of a sudden, winter kicks back in, and you are super depressed
Why?
because you are really feeling the transition into spring, summer. And then all of a sudden, you get hit with a foot of snow after 2 weeks of 70-degree weather, 65-degree weather.
You've kind of like
It's-
set your
It's
life
for
up.
real, dude.
You set your life up for summer, and
your body is just gets used to it. It gets
Yeah.
used to being outside, and then boom, it's for real. Like you get these weird like mud season
meltdown.
bummers. And mud season's already kind of bad because everything just smells like thawing dog shit for like 2 months.
Yeah,
It's rough.
living in the mountains is not easy.
You know who's still open for snowboarding? We've got
Mammoth.
Mount Hood, Timberline,
Okay.
Palisades in Tahoe, Mammoth Mountain,
Snow Bowl, Arizona.
Snowboard Arizona just closed.
Oh, sorry.
A Basin, Snowbird, A Basin's in Colorado, Snowbird in Utah, Mount Bachelor, and Winter Park in Colorado.
Jeez.
Those are the resorts that are still open for business. Winter Park is closing down Memorial Day weekend. I think we're coming up on the end of things here, but Mammoth just extended their season. Palisades will be open at least until Memorial
That's
Day.
so cool.
East Coast closed down last weekend. Killington was the last one standing, as they always are. First to open, first to close. Last to close, excuse me.
Yeah.
So yeah, season's over. Big gathering for Alex Pashley this past weekend in Jackson Hole. Friends of Pash, who is basically a cornerstone of the industry, inside the industry for years. Everyone showed up at Jackson to pay homage to one of the greatest, M.A.S.S. So go have a margarita for Alex Pashley this weekend.
I will. I got a shout out.
What?
Shout out to the Airtime podcast. It's not easy to do a podcast, right? If it was that, I get what.
Correctly. It's not easy to do one.
It actually is
right.
easy to do a podcast. Anyway, but when you do a podcast,
It's not easy to get people to
To
listen to your podcast.
when you do a podcast and you do events, Bombhole does a great job of this, Bombhole Cup. Airtime podcast just did a rad little event. I saw it on Slush. It's called From the Airtime Desk, last minute community event up in Whistler. And it was just really cool. It gave me a feel good type of situation happening. Homies get together, they hiked up to this part of the hill and they built a big thing, and it was like a podcast doing a physical event that looked really fun. So shout out Airtime Podcast.
That's cool. And as the season comes to an end, now what happens? Now we change our focus to the camps. Because snowboard camps have always been a piece of everyone's journey. I think if you're really into snowboarding, you will eventually go to snowboard camps. The first one up is the Woodward Adult Camp at Copper. That's actually the 25th of this month.
And that's adults only?
Adults only.
So it's a nude thing?
Yes.
Okay.
When
does it start?
It's an adult only camp. And then right after that, High Cascade kicks off.
How many years High Cascade been doing?
Dude, so it's
snowboarding?
1990
Sick.
or 91.
90 fun.
91, I think, is their first year they did it.
Okay.
So yeah. Also, this past weekend, the Brain Bowl sessions finished up. Max Warbington and a ton of other, the crews that put that thing together. The community comes out. It's all hand dug. It's all up at Mount Baker.
I dig that.
It's really, really cool. The who's of the Pacific Northwest are up there ripping. It's always fun to see because every year is something different, right?
Yeah.
You get a lot of people custom shaping, and custom shaping by hand doesn't always come out.
I like a good custom funky shape.
Oh yeah, it's funky.
I like funk.
It is funky, and they nailed it once again. Big jumps, hips, weird transitions, just good times. And I guess to cap out our snowboard news, and this kind of blends into surf news. So Judd Hankus and Patty Zhao, Party Patty, are both snowboarders that are in the Stab High event, which I think is pretty cool.
Which we'll be watching, which you are invited to, and I was not.
Do you have any more snowboard?
Yeah, this is important. So I know you're a big fan of Ralph Lauren, Todd.
Oh yeah.
Ralph Lauren has just dropped 3 snowboards.
Snowboards?
Yes. They're only $1,750 each.
Wait, pardon me?
They're made by...
That's the price of just an average snowboard now because of tariffs.
They're made by Parlor, an East Boston-based ski and board maker. And these boards are classified as decorative.
So non-rideable.
They're made from poplar and maple wood.
Decorative.
So you can't ride them.
So what you're saying is that it's a $1,750 cosplay snowboard.
What is Parlor Snowboards? Do you know what that is?
I don't know.
They're from Boston, East Boston. I thought you knew everybody up there.
In Boston? I haven't lived there for a while. But I mean, if they make boards, cool. But like, why would you make, like, what is a display board?
I don't know. Maybe it's a disclaimer, and maybe I didn't finish reading the article. I don't know. I just saw that, and I like triggering Todd.
So what you're saying is there's not really a lot of factual information here.
I saw pictures in this week's triggering Todd news. Okay, so
Nerd news. That is our
news.
snow news. Nerd news is brought to you by One Wheel. If you want to have that carving sensation during the summertime and you can't get up to Mount Hood, you can't get to Copper Mountain, you can't get to the ocean, and you just want to hit some trails,
yeah,
I'm telling you right now, get yourself one of these One Wheels. It's
yeah,
very fun. It's
nothing like a gummy and a One Wheel to make your afternoon.
They are
amazing.
so stupid fun. Check it out, Chris.
Okay.
GTA 6 gets pushed until 2026. Did you see that coming?
No, but I should have reminded you to bring me the Last of Us
Game?
PlayStation disc.
You have PlayStation 5? 4? What do you have?
PS4.
Okay, I can get you it.
Okay.
What do you want to play Last of Us 1 first?
Yeah, I think so.
But look, Chris, the biggest news
Okay.
in digital media has to be Grand Theft Auto 6.
Is it?
A trailer drop.
People still play that?
Oh, God, it's the biggest game ever.
Grand Theft Auto 5?
That was the one that's still going. It came out 12 years ago, and it's constantly had updates.
Oh, it's like Fortnite where you have to when you sign on.
You can go and do anything.
Yeah.
You can. This one takes place in basically Miami, Vice City.
Oh
is
yeah,
what
yeah,
they
yeah.
call it.
That's the.
It's kind of a remake. Of
Okay.
it, but
It was an OG one.
Apparently, I watched the teaser, the trailer.
Yeah.
You can get into more shenanigans than you know what to do with in this one.
I used to actually hang out with the dudes that started Rockstar Games that
No shit.
created
How?
the
Do
Grand Theft
tell.
Auto.
Tell
group.
me about that.
So the guys who made Rockstar Games came to California, Carlsbad area. They bought a company called Angel Studios. Angel Studios was the company that made Transworld Surf video game.
Interesting.
My first ex-wife actually worked there, and so I would go to the Christmas party. And I was affiliated with them through the Transworld Surf, but then I would go to Christmas parties and stuff. They were developing Red Dead Revolver.
Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead. I thought it was Red Dead Revolver.
Red Dead.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so they were making all these video games. They
Yes,
had
yes.
London office and Carlsbad office, and I would like hang out with them. And I was pretty obnoxious at the time.
Red
kind
Dead
of
Red Dead Redemption 2 is
Okay.
like one of the it's basically like the Western version of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, yes.
You can hijack horses.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I remember I thought, oh,
Give people a drive-by
I was
forcing.
like, these guys are probably crazy. They invented Grand Theft Auto, and so I went ahead and acted like my normal self back then.
What was it?
And I believe I got kicked out of their Christmas party.
What do you mean?
I got kicked out of the Grand Theft Auto Christmas party.
I think I find that hard. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of.
I was probably being crazy.
Wow.
I was crazy back then.
But it takes a lot. Like if you base a video game on like doing just anarchy and debauchery,
Yeah.
and you were kicked out of their Christmas party, that's pretty cool.
Why not? Getting kicked out of parties is not cool, kids.
Depends on who you ask.
So I apologize. I did not watch Last of Us last night. I did read a little bit about spores, about how in the video game
They're everywhere.
everyone's
That's
wearing
kind of that's
masks.
the backbone of the game, but they didn't do that in.
We don't want our actors wearing masks.
Exactly. That's why they didn't do that.
But that doesn't matter much. To me.
But listen,
Yeah.
did you watch Andor? Are you caught up on Andor?
I'm not caught up on Endor.
Chris, it ends tomorrow. Tomorrow, the last 3 episodes end, and then what you're supposed to do is immediately watch Rogue One.
Okay. I will.
The stakes were high last week.
We're gonna catch up on. We're gonna probably watch 3 or 4 episodes of Andor tonight.
It's good, dude.
So
It's good. Yeah, Pie's gonna watch too.
I know.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I got questions. This was a couple comments here. McDevitt Electrical wants more sprinklings of sexual innuendo, and you might make it to the top.
You know what else makes it to the top?
And Joey B, how you doing? Says you got the best ad block in the business. I agree. That was on our post for being the 9th best snowboarding podcast.
That's right.
This person wants to know.
What? What is it?
Will tariffs affect the gays as much as the straights? Asking for a friend. Yes. I mean, that's a ridiculous question.
We didn't say tear-offs.
We're going to say tariffs are going to affect everyone. Gay, straight, black, white, whatever.
It's an equal
We're all affected.
opportunity price tag.
Yeah. Here you go. Tom wants to know. Tom Scalia wants to know. I'm sure you guys are going to talk about the contest, but I don't think Julian was robbed. I, like some people, do feel... Hold on. I don't think Julian was robbed like some people do, but I feel like in the final, his first wave should have been definitely higher than Felipe's. I'd like to hear what you and Todd think. I don't think it was... Again, I don't think it was like a glaring...
When you watch Felipe Toledo surf next to his competitors, he's going so much faster, dude. It's crazy how fast Felipe surfs in little waves.
Yeah, that could make sense.
It's wild. What else you got for questions?
I got more. Just gotta find them.
Oh, here's a long
Okay,
one.
this is from Anonymous. Why do you guys think so many skaters and snowboarders smoke cigarettes? I always see it at Poods, or I see pro snowboarders smoking outside of La Paloma at premieres. I grew up skating Oasis and Delmar Skate Ranch. I don't remember seeing it. I don't see surfers doing it, maybe because we're out in the water. There are many young, impressionable kids around seeing it, and as a parent, I find it frustrating.
Kids are trying to rebel, dude.
Yeah,
You'll smarten up eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like teenagers a lot of times go through that smoking phase, and I don't want to be a hypocrite because I have smoked a cigarette in the
It's
past.
probably better than vaping.
I think it would be better than vaping.
Just zin it.
I think it's just...
Everyone's just zinning
I
their
think
balls
as
up
like
now.
as a parent of a guy or a girl, and you find out that they're like smoking cigs, you kind of like you're blown away because obviously this is a parent that doesn't. I grew up like around a ton of people smoking. This is the 80s, right?
Yeah.
That all stopped. And so kids growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s didn't probably see their parents smoking cigs as much. And so I remember I was just used to it. And so nowadays, like, the kids are doing it to rebel. And I don't think teenagers know, like, once you start smoking cigs, like, you're going to want a cig. It's addictive, heavily addictive. So hopefully these kids will grow out of it. And it's as far as older skaters, snowboarders, I mean, surfers smoking cigs around town. It's like
You talk to anyone
it doesn't happen as often as it used to, but it still
I
happens.
feel like you talk to anyone that still runs cigs, and they will be the first one to tell you,
It's disgusting.
I wish that I didn't run cigs.
Yeah.
But now everyone's like Osama Bin Laden, so everyone's zinning up.
To me, that's gross. I would rather smoke a cig than zin and like spit. What do you like? I don't even.
No, Zin, you don't do shit. It just sits in there.
What does it do for you?
It just gets you jacked up on nicotine.
It's gross.
What if you just start with the patch?
Devin.
You
says.
just skip
What?
You just skip cigs and zins, and you just run the patch.
Right. Yeah. I guess the answer is smoking's bad, but sometimes we do bad things. You shouldn't do it until you're 18.
I blame it on candy cigarettes.
Then once you start
you're
doing
getting
it
everyone
at
hooked
18.
Yeah, everyone hooked on candy cigarettes. First.
Yeah. I mean, skate parks, snowboard movie premieres. That's where people will be smoking.
It's
Bars.
That's where the bad kids hang out.
Yeah.
What else you
Back
got?
alleys. Devin says, Todd, do you remember when Breckenridge would stay open till late May, only running one T-bar? That's what it felt like skiing Saturday down here in Arizona.
I always remember Breckenridge closing early, like because of quote unquote elk migration. That was always the message that we got. I don't really remember Breck staying open super late. I remember being at Arapahoe Basin, like super late, like in past Memorial Day, but then it was always just like novelty.
Yeah.
At that point.
Novelty snowboarding.
But I
think May onward is novelty snowboarding, right?
Kind of, but I love coming off the hill in May and having it be green. Like everything is just green and nice.
That's Irie.
Mm-hmm.
Chasing Winters says, what musicians are actually low-key rippers in the surf, skate, snowboard communities? Example, M.A.S.S from the Beastie Boys was really into snowboarding.
Steve Caballero.
Well, he was a skater before a musician.
Okay, but he's a quality
This
musician.
I just read this was pretty
Tommy
cool.
Guerrero?
Eddie Vedder actually was playing a show in Nashville, and he put up a photo of Shane Herring. Because Kelly Slater had talked to Eddie Vedder, told him about Shane Herring, and it was this whole thing, and he dedicated a song to him. He told the crowd, like, this is a guy named Shane Herring. He's an amazing surfer. That was a deep cut, which I thought was pretty rad.
Chris Shiflett.
Chris Shiflett.
He's a good, great surfer.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Grew
think of,
up
like, really gnarly.
skating.
Well, I mean, Paul Fisher did it the opposite.
But low key rippers in the skate surf and so. Oh, what about the Switchfoot dudes?
Oh yeah, all
those
those
dudes
switch
rip.
videos rip for sure. If you're talking about like rappers, I think that
Seal.
Seal
is actually like a really good snowboarder. Seal.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's his name?
No, you're right. No, Seal.
Kissed by a Rose.
I love that song.
Yeah.
There's a lot actually.
Chris Helmsworth. Wait, but he's
an
not. He's not a
actor.
musician. He's
Yeah.
an actor.
What's his name? The guy who started Facebook. Amazing. What the hell? How did
What
that
just happened? Okay, now what do you have? Keep going.
God.
That's it. The question's over.
Board Yak says, everyone has an underwhelming superpower. What's yours? Mine is cross-threading screws. What is this what is cross?
You don't know what cross-threading a screw is?
No.
Oh my god.
What is it?
It's basically like, say you have there's like a metal, like the female part of that would receive a screw.
Ooh, whoa, dude.
And
that guy just said sexual innuendo.
And basically you don't line the screw up and you cross-thread it. It doesn't follow the guide into the female part.
Stop pointing like that and saying female parts.
Anyways, that's great. What would your underwhelming superpower be? Mine's yelling "what" from across the house. What?
Silently farting on airplanes.
Do you ever okay? Have you ever sat in I get altipoops really bad.
Yeah, you
on
do.
the airplane.
Been there.
And
with you.
most of the time when I get altipoops, you want to do you ever have your headphones on and you just don't know what the volume was?
Yeah.
But you assume it was quiet.
Yeah.
But you can't know.
4 out of 6 times I have called home runs at Petco Park during Padre games.
What do you mean?
Straight up. I said, he's about to hit a home run. 4 out of 6 times I've done it, I've called it. That's a pretty overwhelming superpower, if you ask
Oh
me.
my God, you're like a Nostradamus.
Mike says, question for the pod. When you've got your foot... Oh, wait. No, that was last week's. Question for Todd. Nerd question. Best favorite Star Wars character and why?
Favorite?
Yeah.
I think it's Boba Fett. I think it was everyone's favorite.
And just remember, Andor is not a planet. That's the name of a guy.
It's a guy. I always thought Boba Fett was, but then they did him dirty with that show.
Boba.
The Book of Boba Fett sucked. Who's your favorite dude?
Favorite? I like the little, like, rat guy that hangs out with Boba Fett. You know that person's name?
The rat guy.
The little, like...
That's not Boba Fett. That's Jabba the Hutt. Salacious.
I mean, Jabba...
Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, that's who I like. Salacious Crumb.
Worst.
I can't believe
character.
you know his
What are
name.
you talking about, dude? I could seriously name everyone.
Hanali says, I enjoyed last week's discussion of snowboarding needing personalities. All
Sure.
things like Chloe Kim's IG stories, Mark McMorris, Darcy Sharp's vlogs, helping to do networks and...
Oh, what she's saying? Networks and sponsors need to step up.
Okay, so I get this. Let me
You go ahead.
rephrase this.
All right, go ahead.
So they have their vlogs and stuff,
Mhm.
and that's helping the athletes. But do the networks need to help prop up the
I think
athletes
so.
as well?
I actually, before I came upstairs to do the podcast, I literally was on a 7 or 8 person call with NBC for the Olympics next winter, and we were talking about all kinds of like what kind of new technology is going to be used and that kind of thing, you know. And at the end of the conversation, I interjected in there. I'm like, look, all this doesn't mean anything unless we make the people care about the athletes. And I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh, yes.
and I basically said to them, I'm like, you guys are discounting the fact that you're hiring us not only to be experts in this, but also because we know most of these people.
Yeah.
And we have the ins. We have like, you know, we can text people during competition day and have them respond to us, which is a very unique thing because I don't, like a lot of the other sportscasters at NBC, I don't think they have such a, really tight relationship with the athletes. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Except for like John Elway or something, like who, you know, the big names.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, we need to, that really does need to be done in some kind of either a podcast way or I don't know. It needs to happen more because we get to the Olympics and no one gives a shit.
Well, I think that the athletes that do a good job at, I don't want to say controlling their narrative and it sound like that's a bad thing. I think when an athlete opens up and they show themselves, they show their life, you know, in the vlog format, I think that's super rad. I think when a company or entertainment entity like the WSL, you know, like ISA is another good example of, they have always done these cool little pieces spotlighting an athlete. When the athlete has a better story, obviously the piece is going to be better.
Yeah.
Make or Break, that ran for a couple seasons, that made me really like Gabriel Medina a lot more.
No, I like it. I love those.
Like there's certain shows and stuff that like they go under the hood a little bit, and I think that helps the personality, that helps you really like certain athletes.
And it also helps you realize like what these people are doing.
Yeah.
And what it takes to do these things. It's not all just, you know, fun and games. It really is like the mental toll it takes, especially with the level that everyone is at these days in skate, surf, snow. It's crazy. Like it's do or die a lot of times.
Yeah.
And all we're seeing from the networks is the glory moments. We're not really being shown
the gory moments. I think the WSL deserves a lot of credit because I think half of their deal is social media, production, you know, all these different shows that take you in and out of the contest area. There's shows, the last one they did with Jack Robinson, they're going to be following surfers around, and that's where you'll see family life and all that. So I think they deserve a lot of credit. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff you see on their social media pages beyond just the competition. And, you know, you do, if you look hard enough, you can fall in love with an athlete maybe you didn't think you would like before by watching one of these shows. It's on WorldSurfLeague.com or whatever.
There we go.
Okay, Tom Cilia again says, should we be riding quads more? Yes. Yes, you should. But the board has to dictate if it's a quad board or not, and that doesn't necessarily have to do with how many fin boxes are on the board. Some boards work incredible as quads and horrible as thrusters, and vice versa. So quads, in my opinion, make surfing so fun because you can go really fast, but you have to have a board that's shaped for a quad.
I've never really I feel like I've never had a quad that works well.
Well,
I wish because I feel like
you would be flying. You know, so here's a board like my Pizel Gremlin, for example. Wide tail, nice hips, sharp. You know, like it's almost like a round nose. So that's a board that the tail is wide enough to where the quad just makes this thing fly. You can still turn it, engage it. But I've had other boards like that looked like that I've tried to ride as a quad, but they just didn't go. So I think if you have a little bit wider of a tail, a quad's going to work better than like a pulled in board, unless you're like Felipe Toledo or something. But to me, the little bit wider tail with the quad is you should try that.
Okay. I just need to get one.
Last question here. Dustin Jones said, Chris and Todd, some studies show an average person spends more than 6 hours a day on their phone, 2+ hours of social media. Are smartphones and social media things that we shouldn't have developed?
Yes. I often say that.
Was life better before your iPhone?
Society, I believe it was June 16th, 2006. I feel like society
took a shit.
Let me tell you.
Because of the iPhone?
Yeah.
It's hard because, like, I'm on my phone for hours and hours a day.
Oh, excuse me. June 29th, 2007, Steve Jobs fucked up the planet.
But he made it so much better.
But
I was driving around San Diego last night using
I'll say this. Instagram
is so easy.
Instagram's what fucked us up.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's the iPhone in itself. I do believe that
well, everyone finally knows that I can surf now since Instagram. Before they just thought it was.
I think Instagram is and taking advantage of people's insecurities. Like it and we're victims to it. Like
I'm a victim
it's part of everyone's job and within our worlds until the emphasis. I mean, there are no more magazines, so all the emphasis is put on your social media algorithm receptance by the rest of the planet. We are fucked. We are worse off.
Yeah. Because
of it.
I agree.
Abso-fucking-lutely, dude.
Yeah.
And I wish. I don't know. I have a lot of friends that go on hiatus from their phone.
But do they say, "I'm taking a break from Instagram. If you want to find me, reach out here"?
No. One of our buddy Justin from Botchans is basically his personal account just like turned it off.
That's good.
And it's good because he's probably like getting a lot more shit done. And I don't know. It's like I have friends that also are doing the anti-technology route with their phones.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of rad, but I can't. Like I wish that I could because I recognize that I'm fucked.
I'm on like heroin. I'm on social media like a junkie.
If there was
I got digital scabs that I'm like just look at it one more time.
If there was a substitute for it.
Heroin, actually.
Dope is really okay, there you go.
I think I might make the switch, to be honest.
It might be less destructive.
It could be. Don't smoke cigarettes, don't do heroin, and don't do social media. In that order. Anything else?
Just go spray paint.
Yeah, that's what you should
steal plywood and spray paint shitty Rat Bones logos on stuff like we used to do.
That's a great idea.
Right,
throw dirt clods at your friends.
Ooh, yeah, but don't throw dirt at cars because you'll get shot.
Yeah, don't do that. At your friends, I say. Mm-hmm. Dirt clods.
Dirt clods at your friends.
Underrated.
All right, bye, you guys. That was a good show. Do you guys think so? Hit us in the comments below.
Hi guys, Mark Wahlberg is here. Energy Boy, hi. 9th Best Snowboarding Podcast. What up, Coté and Todd from the platform? What up? All right.
This is for our Patreon viewers.